The dog who dug up a hellish homicide verified. Since August 2024, a German Shepherd mix named Chicarin has repeatedly unearthed human remains near Center Point, Alabama, including a skull with a gunshot wound. The case remains active as investigators try to trace the origin of the bones. Dawn breaks over Center Point, Alabama, painting the woods in mist and unsettled secrets. Chicarin trotted home through dew-slick grass, muzzle dusted with Earth's darkest memory. In her jaws was a skull white cracked, a whispered beginning. Near the creek, bones surfaced again. Tibia, mandibular, femur, all echoing a night none remember. Each find sent tremors through deputies used to road accidents, not burial grounds. The first discovery broke their routine. They expected wildlife, found homicide, dog paws imprinted on mud where human remains lay waiting for discovery. The skull's gum sockets told stories in shadow. A gunshot wound whispered old rage. Forensic teams converged, turning forest floor into grid lines of grief. DNA came back, no match, a life without records, a ghost without a name. Over months, Chicarin unearthed parts again and again, proof of something sinister. Detectives mapped each find scatter patterns like unwilling stars. Each trace led deeper into woods no one loved enough to explore before. The owner both feared and revered her dog bravery encased in fur and curiosity. Neighbors whispered, "Find the rest," but even they feared what answers meant. Volunteers dragged lines through trees, uncovering soil that should have stayed buried. The creek murmured overhead, the bones whispered below it. Every investigator carried Chicarin's finds as fragile truths too heavy for folders. Experts confirmed the remains were human. The word landed like a verdict. No missing person reports matched. No Amber Alerts fit the fragments. The victim remained a cipher, every bone a question. Law enforcement tracked Chicarin's route's most recent site, just 2 miles off Highway 31. Social media stirred. #DogDetective trended, mixing awe and fear. The owner deleted a photo hindrance or heartbreak. Authorities cautioned against speculation. Reality was already unsettled. The dog returned again with a femur. The brush bone rattled like a metronome of menace. Forensics preserved each fragment, each grain of soil clinging to enamel. The skull slotted into storage, its hollow eyes unblinking as memory. Local children dared each other to follow the trail at dusk. Journalists pressed cameras against yellow tape. Lights blazed through night fog. Families near the woods watched with locked doors and quieter prayers. The sheriff's desk held maps threaded with red markers and answered funerals. The DNA lab ran trees of ancestry against the bones. No branch reached truth. Anthropologists sketched facial projections and known visage etched on paper. The forest soaked wind. It seemed to listen. Locals said the woods changed after the finds. They breathed differently now. Chicarin was embedded in the case. Her muzzle, a messenger of unresolved shame. Search parties scoured again. They found only shadows and too many possibilities. Crime analysts suggested dumping site. Others whispered of murder site. Trees bore graffiti. "Bring her home. Spray painted please," echoing bone-crushing grief. The skull's teeth checked by odontologists, but no dental matches found. Every dentist's office scanned their ledgers. No one recognized the jaw. Remains dated to at least 6 months old, maybe older, time already cold. The victim might have walked the roads, then the woods. Forensic artists sketched reconstructions. They stared back from newsprint. The remains stirred conversations of missing girls. Past Amber Alerts, afraid to name names. Each slide of X-ray, each toilet of bone slides across blurs of bureaucracy. Historians checked old school records, another missing person log may be overlooked. Suitcases of files opened. Files whose dust crumbled in fingers. The dog brought a cranium piece again wrapped in grass like unwilling gift. Investigators set cameras in tree forks moonlit, silent watchers for whoever followed. The case spread across state lines and theories, tips, and shouts from strangers. The victim got a nameplate in the morgue, just Jane Doe, number 27, voice without identity. Chainsaws hummed nearby forestry crews, oblivious to the bones echoing beneath. A local psychic was called. Authorities gently declined her premonitions. Archaeologists caution Earth forgets quickly. Memory floats. The bones were catalogued in evidence rooms, far from woods that carried them. Cold nights forced site visits. Flashlights cut darkness with fractured hope. Community members left sunflowers at the edges of the search grid. Local bloggers chased theories, lumber company secrets, road rage dumping. Emails arrived from descendants. "I lost a girl out that way in '92. Each note fed grief into open wounds policy couldn't dress. The dog's nose led to what detectives worried was a dumping ritual. Search dogs traced scent, but it trailed out of the trees, into fate. Family members of missing individuals watched news roll by. Would this fit their file? Authorities asked for public memory. Everyone lived once in this place. The woods grew darker with unanswered questions. Chicarin slept by the door. Guardianship in fur-coat devotion. Some say they hear her in the woods sniffing, searching, beckoning. Researchers theorize dismemberment happened elsewhere, bones transported, but travel leaves telltales on plant life none found. It seems likely they were killed nearby, parts left for dog to find. Nearby towns closed unsolved missing files. They all re-evaluate cold tabs. The case remains open, each bone recorded as voiceless proof. Investigators raid pawn records for jewelry shards, mismatched but hopeful. DNA Doe Project offered help but samples too degraded. The victim remains the forest woman for now. Locals leave flowers under oak trees, gestures against grief too deep. News crawling renewed attention. Reporters ask, who refuses to be forgotten? Dogs screech in the night, door slams, unknown boots crunch unseen paths. Investigators patrol with flashlights, retracing paths of truthless fragments. Earth reclaims but evidence resists. Bones endure in lab coolers. In dreams, Chicarin returns home with another face she cannot name. The case will stay open until identity rises from whisper to named form. Bones rustling in the hush make the woods speak. Every step on leaf drizzle holds memory unknown. The creature who brought them home becomes hunter and harbinger, and the woods wait for the name that brings silence back. Until then, Chicarin's finds are final testimony of a life erased. And until then, the forest holds its breath, bones breathing memory.